Okay, another week, another episode. A few dudes, we're back, and we're just gonna roll with it.
A year? Yeah.
Yeah.
We got Quintin back.
Yes, sir.
This is your third appearance, I think?
Yeah.
Yeah, third.
Hype.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Just a few dudes trying to live our dreams. That's all we are.
I miss the intro up on the front. We are proud, we are louder.
It's so cringe, bro. I can't do it.
It might be like a frat, like a.
So I've been thinking of a new one. And it's kind of like some shit like, we're just normal guys, fucking living our dreams day by day, just like every other person out there, you know? Because I think that's really the reason why I originally started this podcast, was to appeal to that kind of an audience of like just people, just normal people. We're just a few dudes. Like, I know we say it and like it's kind of a joke at this point, but like that shit's real, you know? So I try to relate to people on that, you know?
Yeah, no, I got you.
So I wanna try and make an intro around that, but I'm still working on it. It's in the works.
Hell yeah, brother.
Lots of new things in the works.
Cutlu.
What?
How you doing?
Cutlass.
Alright. Actually, I've been better, dude.
Yeah?
Let the people know what's going on.
Yeah, man.
Let them know.
What's going on?
We're misfiring on all cylinders, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a rip.
I don't know.
Q's car is fucked, essentially.
The car's fucked.
Rip the Sonata.
I hate work. You know what it is.
So, walk
Just
people
another
through
dude,
with
just like all y'all.
what you're going through with like work and how you're feeling
explain.
about
Yeah.
your headspace on that whole situation.
So,
I mean, I could.
If you want
let me help you out. So, Q and I both currently are working out at Micron, this like tech company out here in the Boise area. We're working there as plumber and pipe fitter apprentices. That's our job.
Yes.
It's like this long 5-year commitment.
Yes.
Both of us are like, I don't know about this.
Yes. Yeah, pretty much. Just like, well, at first I started like as a backup plan, but like the more
Same.
I've gotten into it, it's just like, fuck, dude, I'm not trying to wake up at the ass crack of dawn every day at 4:30.
And we're working 60 hours a week, 5:30 to 4, or he works
6 to 4:30.
and I work 5:30 to 4. So
Fucking hell.
Yeah.
it's a lot of work,
It's the drive. I mean, I wrote.
and it's a 30-minute commute every morning.
It's about drive, it's about power, you know? We stay humble, we
I
devour
wrote like a fucking pros and cons list or whatever, but it's basically like, you know, like, I don't know, you don't even really start seeing good money until you're like your fourth, fifth year.
Like literally, and this is not an exaggeration, I could go to like the Habit and make $15 an hour there and be making almost the same amount of money.
How much are you gonna start off at Amazon?
Oh yeah, I'm going back to Amazon.
Fuck the cheese factory.
I worked at a cheese factory. It wasn't bad, but just
They basically took a shit on his forehead and he said, alright, I'm out.
Within the span of like 3 hours, I got shit on. So I was like, alright, I had a. So starting out at Amazon, I'm taking a pay cut. I'm gonna be making, I think 16 is what it is. But then they have like this thing where it's like the hazard pay shit. Right?
And you have the $3,000 sign-on bonus.
Yeah.
After 3 months, you get $3K, which is nice.
Yeah, that's fucking. I started off at 13, and now I make 14.85, and I've been there for like 6 months. And we work 6 hours a
Damn,
week.
6 months already?
Pretty much.
Holy shit.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm just kind of tired of it, and like they just don't treat their guys well. Like,
No.
and like
Well,
it's about,
outhouse. So
Yeah.
there's two different things. I work inside the building, he works outside of the building. It's a little different.
Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like it's not like I feel like it's the union. Like it's like one of my friends that worked there way before. He's like, yeah, but this isn't a real union. He's
No,
like, I don't
it's
know what the
not.
hell this shit is, but this is not like a union.
No, it's
Yeah.
weak. Dude, okay, so I'm just gonna kind of go into like a little bit of the politics, like something that's going on. So, first off, it's fucked up and I feel bad for it, but my family pretty much runs the union. So I make $16.50. I make more money than most of the guys out there, which right off the bat is fucked up and shouldn't be happening. But, I mean, it really is who you know. On top of that, the thing is that guys getting hired right now are making a lot more money than most of the dudes who have been working out there, which is really strange to me.
Even
So,
then,
like-
that's not even like a union thing. That's like a U.S. wide thing. 'Cause,
Right,
like,
and it wouldn't be a problem
the
if
minimum wage
it
is
wasn't a
bumping.
union.
Yeah.
But because it is a union, the whole idea of the whole point of a union is fair pay and work for all.
Yeah.
You know, that's the idea. That's not how this is. It's super corrupt, and it's not as advertised. They're like, oh yeah, in 5 years you could make $100,000 a year. That's complete and total bullshit. The foremen out there who are making like $45 an hour are not making $100,000 a year.
Well,
It's a bold-faced lie.
you
So
gotta, it's the total pack. That's how they calculate it. It's a total package.
it's
So,
fucking
like,
stupid.
They're
saying that your pension and your insurance and all that
Yeah.
totals out to $100,000 a
But
year.
realistically, you're probably only seeing like what,
probably
60% of that.
I'd say 80, 90K.
For a journeyman, yeah, no, you're at like 60, 70. It's not that great.
So it's definitely like a long haul type job. Like for the 5 years, you got to grind and whatnot, and then once you become, so you go from apprentice to journeyman, right?
Yep.
Well, yeah.
But
And
then
then-
with the journeyman, you can go anywhere.
At that point, you could take your J card anywhere in the entire world, and you could make a lot more money. But the other thing is that you might be making that $100,000 a year at that point, but you're going to be working 60, 70 hours a week.
Yeah,
And
it's
it's
just
like-
one of those things where it almost seems like your life is that.
Yeah.
For a bit.
No, that's
But-
all you do.
But it's good if you want to build towards something, I guess. But it's also like it's a give and take. I feel like. Yeah.
I think honestly, it's for, and this is kind of a fucked up take, but I'm gonna just keep it G real. I think that the best, or the people that the union or that our job right now is for people who have no dreams. They don't have anything that they really want to do in their life, but they want to make a safe and secure living.
Yeah,
so they
like
go do
families
something.
and like if they have families, they have
Exactly.
lives.
We don't have
Yeah.
families. We're 20 years old. We have a fucking podcast. We have dreams and shit that, you know, we're blessed to be able to actually pursue. And so it just doesn't make sense to be doing this. And something that Q and I both know from working there is that all the dudes there, like the other day I was in the elevator with this random guy. I'd never met him before. I didn't even know his name. We didn't even exchange names. And he's like, oh, what year are you? And I'm like, first year. He's like, oh, okay, so you just started. And I'm like, yeah. He's like, you crazy fucker. You want this for a life? And then I'm like,
Damn.
I just look at him and I'm like, I don't know, man. I guess we'll see. That's exactly what I said.
Jesus.
And then he just walks out the elevator. He's like, take it easy, dude. And I was like,
What a question.
as soon as he walked away, I was like, yeah, no, this ain't gonna last.
Yeah.
Yeah,
damn.
I had this fucking one of the foremen on my end. When I say that, I was telling everybody because they're like, "Oh, you're trying to get the apprenticeship," and I'm like, "Yeah," and they're like, "Oh, all right." And then as soon like "Oh yeah, go for it." And then as soon as I get in, one of the foremen's like, he's like, I was like, "Yeah, I'm an apprentice now." He's like, "Well, get out while you can." And I was like, "What the fuck? Like, you guys just told me to fucking try it, and then now you're like, get out while you can." And like, I don't. And then I'm like telling everybody like, "Yeah, I'm thinking about leaving." And they're like, I don't blame you. I would do the same thing if I was your age.
I'm like,
And then there's guys, but then you have guys on the other hand that are like, I love it. Like they're like, no, dude, the benefits are good.
So for
But
those
then
guys,
your lifespan-
more power to you, bro.
The lifespan of like once you retire, you're gonna live for like max pushing it 10 years.
Well,
It's more like 7, 8.
that's not really true because my grandpa was a pipe fitter his whole entire life, and he's been retired for like 15 years.
but
now.
like,
But
I think it also
That
depends.
could happen.
Yeah.
It could be an
And
exception.
like, I mean,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
can like retire,
Sure.
but still like, I mean, this is for a lot of jobs. Any like physical labor job, I think you're gonna retire with some like health, like complications maybe, and maybe you're not like suffering from like heart problems or like lung problems. Maybe it's just like a fucking shitty back or like a limp or like your legs are just ain't working like they used to before, And I think that stuff definitely like accelerates that kind of those health problems. But as I'm getting older, I'm realizing like this relates to like what you were just talking about. I think I'm realizing that like money's really fucking cool and like I love it, but it also it definitely does not mean everything for like a job. And I mean we already all knew this, but like I'm like being faced with like certain like situations that I'm realizing like money definitely ain't all of it like at all. Like I mean shit, at the cheese place I was getting close to making like $20 an hour, which is fucking solid for what I was doing. But I left because the respect just isn't there. And like for me, like I mean Amazon's not gonna be that much better, but I know for a fact that at least people are gonna be a lot nicer at Amazon for sure because I worked there before, and I'm gonna be a lot more in control of like my own shit compared to like a cheese place where I have these guys are just some green hats walking around and like treating me like absolute shit. But with Amazon, it's like as long as I show up and do my thing, pop in my earbuds and just do whatever the hell I want, and like just make sure I get my job done. Like I'm realizing that it comes to like, yeah, I think it comes to like your own happiness and like what you actually deem like virtuous.
See, it's one thing to know that and understand it. It's a completely different thing to live that.
Which is why I'm waiting. I can't live that yet.
Yeah.
20.
Did you ever, how do you say it? Like, did you ever cut the cheese?
Yeah, it's kind of fire. Is that like a?
Good old fart good.
I was gonna say, is that a fart joke? But nah, there was actually like these big old blocks of cheese. I think we talked about this already, but like the size of this table, pretty much, and like from here to like the floor, and like literally just had this giant like knife and just like go straight down. It was kind of satisfying though, yeah. And you throw the big old blocks into like the shredder, which is kind of cool. But
When I worked at Texas Roadhouse, every night we'd like throw out the
I
bread.
hated that job.
Yeah, it was like the worst job I've ever, one of the worst jobs I've ever had.
Same.
And we used to throw out like the rolls and shit. And like I remember like, cause like the dough, I don't know, the dough's weird, bro. It's like so malleable. So me and this kid Eric, we try and
Eric, dude, I love Eric.
Eric
He's
Montez.
he's still one of my good
yeah,
homies.
dude. Fucking,
He's a legend.
We would grab the dough out of the thing and we'd like roll it into a ball and like throw it at the fucking wall.
Yeah.
And like there'd be like 7 or 8 little balls of dough stuck to the garbage can wall.
it's fun.
Okay, so going on from this conversation about like our jobs, and speaking of like, so what Carlos brought up about realizing that money isn't everything, and that doing something that you care about and something that you enjoy is so much more important, which is like such a cliche. Like everybody knows that.
That's so true though.
Nobody fucking does it.
Yeah.
Literally no one. Everybody does something they're unhappy with. So you have to make steps towards doing that. And so yeah, I want to talk to you boys about what you think that is for you.
I don't know. I mean, I want to become a cop, but if it's not that, I don't even think it's becoming a cop. I think it's just trying to find a way to help some like people
Help
in general.
people. Yeah.
So like, my girlfriend came up with a good idea. Like, oh, maybe you don't go directly into like the cop thing. Maybe you go to like a juvie and help kids out.
That would
And
be
I was like,
awesome.
dude, like that's a fucking good idea. Like one, it eases me into like that whole system, and two, like I like directly be able to like I'm in a direct position to like impact kids' lives.
I like that idea a lot.
Like and like
I really do.
anything like that honestly is something that I'm looking for. And I know like those jobs, they're not gonna allow me to buy a mansion or buy my dream car or whatever, but I know that when I go home every single day from work, I'm gonna feel good and like fulfilled about myself for like doing that. And I think it's definitely like so just something like helping people, or like I don't know, just anywhere in that kind of area, if that makes any sense. But
So I've been thinking a lot about this. I think that's a great idea. I really do. I think that going to work at like a juvenile detention center or whatever would, first off, I think you'd like it. Second off, I think it would be a really good way to decide if you want to pursue something in law, like law enforcement in general. For me, lately, I've been at work. I've had a lot of like kind of free time, not really free time, but I'm just doing like monotonous work, like opening up packages, bagging them up, and then taking them where they need to be. And then from there, I have to like go and organize things so that when everybody goes to work, like they have what they need or whatever. And it's just left me with a lot of time to think. Like I basically just put in music and just start thinking. And I thought a lot about Q's situation, because we had a boys' night, and I talked to Q about it a little bit, because obviously we work at the same place. So, we're both kind of intertwined in that. And it really got me to thinking about how, like, I don't want to do this for the rest of my life. And a lot of my family's in it, so there's kind of like a pressure to do it, but I'm blessed that my family would respect my choice, and they would say, okay, well, you don't have to do this, and I just hope that you do something that you enjoy, which is, I'm super lucky. So I got to thinking about like what it is that I really want to do. And like ever since I was a little kid, I've watched YouTube since I was like 5 years old. I used to watch Minecraft videos left and right.
Hunger Games, bro.
Dude, no, don't even get me started. I used to watch Minecraft
What's
videos.
your favorite Minecraft YouTuber?
My favorite? Probably the Syndicate.
Fuck, Syndicate's OG.
Yeah, Syndicate's
I
probably
think
my
my first one is.
Mine's cringe, bro. I can't.
What is it?
favorite.
It's
It's fucking.
It's like Dan TDM or some shit.
Nah.
Fucking Captain Sparkles or something.
That's mine.
Nah.
Yeah, he was the first one I watched. It was
Captain
the first.
Sparkles is goated.
The first like YouTuber Hunger Games that they had,
Yeah.
and I remember the exact title, and it just said Minecraft.
Oh, dude, I remember the map
Yeah.
like the back of my hand.
Dude, yeah,
That's crazy.
That was my favorite.
Oh, we're nerding out.
Captain Sparkles.
Mine
What
was
is yours?
Fucking, my first one was fucking Stampy, dude.
Oh, that's
No.
fair.
Stampy, he used to do like, didn't he do build?
Yeah.
Didn't he do builds and stuff? Was that right?
Yeah, he would do
Yeah.
speed builds and shit.
Yeah,
too,
I liked those.
Yeah.
Stampy was cool, but
Holy shit.
his content was cool, but his voice was hella
Hella
annoying.
annoying.
That's how they all, most of them.
But
are.
if I had to pick a second one, it'd be Dan TDM.
Yeah.
It was pretty chill. I just hate how he had that fucking like that role play with the doctor guy. You know what I'm talking about? It's like later in the day, like late. It was way like when as he was like as I was stopping like kind of like tapering off of Minecraft videos.
Yeah.
I was like coming up with, I was like, this is whack.
I know there's some that were like
Right.
prison break and shit,
Right.
and one of them would role play as like a prison guard, and the other one's like try to plan to like escape a prison. And
Yeah, those
shit.
were fun too. See, I think it's funny too that you bring up tapering off of Minecraft because I think that's something that we all did.
Yeah.
Because first off, Minecraft fucking took over the world.
Still,
still-
yeah.
it's
I
still
still like
has.
playing it. It's
Yeah.
just like I don't play.
I don't
it.
watch it.
It's like,
Yeah.
I'm just bored. Like after like 20 minutes, I'm like, I'll build a house. And I'm like,
Yeah. We should start a server.
That would be. I actually have one, so y'all can join. I've told y'all to join, and y'all are lacking.
Well,
Anyway.
Yeah, sorry. Go.
Anyway, so yeah, YouTube has always been like this crazy inspiration. And I've always been interested in doing it, and I've tried in the past, right? And like it didn't really work out the way I wanted it to. Now I'm doing it in like the most perfect way that I could ever imagine. Like just the podcast is what I mean. Is like it's so much fun, and I see so much potential for it, and so much we can do with it.
It's getting the juices flowing through it, imagine.
For real. And then, so on top of this, first off, I have a capture card and everything. I talk about it all the time, and I'm going to start doing gaming as soon as Elden Ring comes out next week. And so be on the lookout for that for all you gamers. But
It's gonna be sick.
so with the podcast and with making gaming videos, I'm going to be doing a lot of editing. And so it's my goal starting now, because for those, it's kind of a big announcement, but I bought a brand new PC, like a laptop, because it doesn't make sense for me to have a desktop, having a podcast, having a record and everything. So
Portable shit, yeah.
basically, it's an editing rig at the end of the day. I'm going to use it for gaming and stuff like that, but it's really for the podcast. That's why I bought it, and for editing. That's like
For your own YouTube shit,
it's
yeah.
it's an investment into my future because the last computer just wasn't cutting it. So starting now, by the end of the summer, I'm just gonna try to bust out as much editing as I possibly can, and I'm gonna try to get really good at it. And then by the end of the summer, I want to be able to market it and try to make some money like on the side doing it. And if it does well, then yeah, I'll quit my job and I'll pursue that, and I'll do the podcast, and I'll do the YouTube channel, and that's the plan for right now. You know, it's a hell of a plan, but I mean, I'm all for it, dude.
If
And
you just spend that time and like learning and shit, you got it.
yeah, it's one of those things. It's like anything, where if you just have this laser focus
Gotta have that
on
drive.
doing something
Yeah.
and not giving up, and you just continue to do it, I guarantee we're at the age where it will pay off.
Yes.
It will.
It's that mom
It might take
mentality.
10 years, but I don't fucking care because it's pretty much the only thing I can see myself doing.
Yeah,
And so it's gonna happen.
You ever seen those videos, those like YouTube videos where they're like, I don't know, I think it's a cliche like clickbait shit, but they're like they're like, why following your dreams is a bad idea, or like you're following your dreams is the worst advice, and like basically they're
No.
saying like they're saying like, yeah, follow your dreams, but like, you know,
They have to be
'cause
attainable.
exactly, yeah, that they like, cause some people have crazy dreams. They're like, oh yeah, I want to be a fucking like a music superstar, like you know, I want to be a
Yeah.
famous singer.
I want to be bigger than Justin
Not gonna
Bieber.
You know, like that's like luck.
Good luck, dude.
Yeah,
I want to work
exactly.
with Mr.
That's
Beast.
100% luck.
Yeah.
But
No.
some people, you know, like in there, they're telling like, you know, the whole idea is that they're playing on like the, you know, like keep your dreams with you, but don't like follow them to a T, or don't like
Well,
don't spend your whole life like pushing for this dream, and then like in 20 years you're like, you'll have the dream and everything you've accomplished, but then you're like still unhappy because it's not what you thought it would be.
well, there's definitely a chance, and that's why I don't think you can force things like that.
Yeah.
Like, I say that I want to do these things. First off, I don't expect like any of them to like blow up, you know. but I don't fucking care if it does or not because it's what I want to do. So that's what I'm gonna try and do.
Yeah, at the end of the
It's
day,
that
you know,
simple.
you pursued it. Like it's always like the whole thing where everybody always says like it's about the chase, not the goal. Like
Yeah.
it's about the journey, not the destination.
Exactly.
It's about drive and like it's about power and like
Yeah, we
you
stay
get
hungry.
hungry.
Like, we in the
Stay all
hour.
night. Yeah, exactly. Fucking, it's grind time.
Put in the money, put in
Yeah,
the hours,
yeah,
like
yeah.
take what's hours. You know.
Fucking, I don't know. What about you, Q?
Yeah,
What do you
what's-
got? What's on the horizon for you?
Well, the whole thing that made me do this was like I had this idea. Well, this was a long time ago, like back when I finished college and shit like that.
Oh, you're yeah.
Yeah, so I made like this fucking inspirational like wallpaper for my computer. And like I remember like I kind of like took it for granted and I would just like look at it. I wouldn't really like pay attention to it, but like the other day I like looked at it and I was like, damn, like I lost focus of like what I was really set out to do, and like I kind of lost track of like what I wanted to do.
Because you have an associate's in business, right?
Science, and it's like a general education credits. It's not like an actual. It's basically like a diploma for college.
But
if
that's
that
what
makes
you were
sense.
studying was.
I was studying business.
Business.
Yeah, I was studying entrepreneurial management, but fucking excuse me.
Next time, do it right into the mic like this.
I got you. Fucking yeah. I don't know. It's weird. It's like almost like I just like went like on autopilot for a little bit.
Yeah.
I feel that.
strange.
I feel that.
Like it's like
Same.
I started doing this and then I like was like, what the fuck am I doing?
Yeah, I was
Like,
literally
just making a huge mistake.
thinking about this the other day. Like when we were graduating high school and like that summer leading up to our freshman year, I remember like you and I would talk about our dreams constantly. Like we would talk about you opening up your skate park and me opening up my I'm not gonna even say my idea because I hope none of you fuckers taking it. But they know what it is. But my truck. But I remember we used to always talk about it and like we'd be like, oh, we're gonna make this. Like we used to even like I still have my little like notebook with like certain little ideas and like you know certain like things attributing to that. But
egg in space.
yeah, nah, but that there was like but there's just like I feel like within the last like 2 years or so like I mean I don't know what it is. Maybe it's like COVID. Maybe it's just the fact that we got jobs that we're like, oh shit, we're getting money. But I think I could definitely feel that like it's almost like we've been distracted a little bit. But
I feel like I'm like this is like what our parents did, and like we never really like we're like breaking out of like it's kind of cliche like we're breaking out of the mold, man.
No,
we're
but
fucking
they
we're
fell
paving our
into
own
like
path.
the,
You know,
but
the,
it's
the,
true.
the daily
It's like
routine.
It is
it's like
true.
our parents, you know, like they have because I mean when
They
I
didn't
was
have a
at this
choice.
age, if I was my mom, I would have had a 2-year-old son.
That's what I'm saying. They didn't
So
have
it's
a
like,
choice.
Same.
Yeah.
We live in a different age where like the rate of like people being born is like decreasing like crazy amounts by like the time people are like 20. Like nobody's really having as many kills as they were fucking 20 years ago or whatever. You know what I mean?
That's
So like
facts.
a lot of people are like hungry now. Like people are seeing what we can attain with like.
Right, I thought you said kills.
Hmm?
I thought you said kills. Like people aren't having as many kills as they used to.
Oh.
Like it was like a Call of Duty match.
No.
I was like,
Yeah, and I think
Less
like,
murders, homicides, manslaughter. You know?
No, but people I think can see more like futures for themselves now because things like social media, which is great, I think also as well. Like you can see like, oh, this guy's doing this. Like a guy graduated with made this much money doing this. Like why can't I do that? And I think people are
See?
now realizing that there's so much more they can do.
And yeah, what I was gonna say is that Q brought up that it's kind of a cliche, but for our generation, it's really not.
It's not, yeah.
It's not.
Yeah,
It's like a totally attainable thing.
it is.
It's crazy to think about too because it's like, there are gonna need to be plumbers and there are gonna need to be electricians and carpenters and all these other trades. Like
McDonald's workers, everything. Yeah,
there has to be somebody who does that.
yeah.
Our generation isn't fucking doing it, and it makes me wonder.
But I think it's only gonna lead to greatness, but
But
also scary shit.
Do people really need to do those things?
No, because we're gonna, but give it the next 10 years even.
There's gonna be robots.
There's gonna be robots that can do every single job that 90% of people are
Dude,
doing now.
literally at
they can do
Micron,
it.
there are fucking robots. Like I'm not
Dude,
kidding.
yeah, there was robots at my fucking cheese
There's
plant.
robots at Amazon.
Yeah, and they were literally robots just to fold boxes. That's all it was.
It's
Folding
crazy,
boxes
dude.
and putting tape. That's.
It's crazy.
I was looking through the window. I was like, holy fuck. I was like, dude. 20 years ago, somebody was doing this. There was a whole team of 20 people doing this.
Yep.
I was like, and now there's one robot. What are those 20 other people doing? Like, you know what I mean? And I don't want to be one of those people caught blindsided by this robot.
So you have to create your own wealth.
Yeah, we have.
You can't put yourself in a position where you can just be replaced like that. You have to, you have to create your own value.
We live in a time where you have to stay on your tippy toes no matter what, because there's something that we know that can easily take our jobs within a heartbeat. But we have to stay on our tippy toes and know that there's got to be a plan B for something.
That's why artistic fields of like work in general are just blowing up.
Yeah.
NFTs,
fucking crazy.
It's basically just art.
Yeah.
I was listening to this, I was listening to you guys.
Yeah.
And I was like, bro, like that's the thing is like, kids are literally in high school selling NFTs. Like I've seen so many TikToks like kids being like, oh yeah, I made more than my teacher's salary selling this one NFT.
Yes,
dude.
yes.
I've heard.
You can make it can even be like just a collection of like fucking bored apes. They're literally just these apes with what are those called? Fucking snapbacks and like with a J in their mouth. It's just like 4 different variants of it, all selling for like $20K. Like it's crazy, and it's just all you need to do is have the hype behind it. And some of them have functionality within like certain games that are gonna be coming out, like the sandbox or whatever. But some of them are just literally like if you get the hype behind it and you have the right people to like publicize it, dude.
And somebody's making that art.
Yeah.
And then these kinds of industries in general are blowing up. I think what's happening is that the wealth in what's the word? Kind of like building infrastructure for cities, whether it's there's plumbing, carpentry, electricians, HVAC, ironworking, all of these kinds of unions, like it's just this manual labor kind of space is going to be taken over by like automated
easily
things, like because nobody wants to do it, so there's really no choice. Like it's going to have to happen because people are realizing that they don't want to jeopardize their body for the rest of their life.
Yeah.
And so the money is after I guess there's going to be investments into technology and things like that. But after that, when humans are really doing things, it's going to transition into art, therapy, fucking, I don't really know, education, entertainment, things like that. Things that are more like from person to person, things that like, I guess are a little bit more personal rather than like putting up a building, you're creating a relationship with someone else or helping them understand something or giving them something to enjoy.
Yeah.
That's so interesting. That is so fucking interesting.
I think having like a presence within like the internet space is like a new currency. Like I think having people's eyes on you is
a little bit of
so,
influence
like,
on
crazy.
the internet goes so far.
Because like things like TikTok, bro, I think that shit's like breeding kids with ADHD. If it's not breeding them,
100%.
It's just giving people ADHD. Like I don't know. I know that's not how it technically works, but like, dude, our attention spans are dropping crazy amounts. Like you see a video, a TikTok for like 1 second, like
That's why I don't have that shit, dude. I'm scared of it. I feel like it's brainwashing.
Dude, and even things like even YouTube videos are getting shorter now. Like, and there's shorts now for YouTube. And I think if you can get those people's eyes to watch your shit or to pay attention to you, that's the new currency. Like, that's why brands are like coming to people like PewDiePie, Markiplier, Jacksepticeye, having them do interviews with like Tom Holland for like Spider-Man and shit like that.
I saw the Jacksepticeye interviews with Tom Holland.
Uncharted, like, dude, they're doing that because they know these guys have more power
influence
over
than modern day celebrities.
Yeah, or than like the news now. Like
nobody watches TV anymore.
Exactly. Yeah.
See, like
having influence is the new currency.
Having a massive YouTuber like Jacksepticeye who has like millions and millions and millions of subscribers, 40 million.
Like some shit.
That's fucking insane. That guy has so much more reach than somebody like Jimmy Fallon or like somebody on like the SNL or
the views just don't even compare.
Yeah, no, it's not the same. And it's also marketing to an audience that they're not interested in.
Yeah.
They're marketing to older people. That's the people who are watching TV. Mm-hmm. They don't care about them.
They want the eyes of the youngins,
Because, I mean, at the end of the day, it's kind of like the majority, and those are the people who are going to get excited about things and go spread it out.
That's why Fortnite is blowing up so much too, and that's why it stayed in like the limelight, because it has these crazy collabs, Spider-Man, Halo, Travis Scott, yeah, dude, Ariana Grande, and like it's because the kids are the ones that are looking, and they're the ones going to their moms and being like, "Hey, can I have your debit card real quick? New skin drop. Sure, this will keep you occupied for the next fucking
Holy
7 hours. Like,
So insane.
Breeding a massive generation of fucking iPad kids.
No,
yes,
actually.
dude. Like one of our homies, we'll take him. Like all the boys will go eat dinner, and he'll be sitting at Red Robin's with. I'm putting Alex, your bitch ass, on blast. He'll have his Switch there, bro. I'm like, bro, you can play that when you get home.
Alex who?
He's a senior in high school.
Oh, okay.
But he hangs out with like some of my nerd friends.
I thought you were talking about Chili Alex, and I was
Nah,
like, no way.
not Chili, nah.
Chili's
But
way
yeah,
too cool.
this kid, like, he will be playing with each other on Discord all day long. Or
Is
whatever.
it Ethan's little brother?
Yeah, and then we'll go to Red Robin's, like, actually have real life interaction, and he'll just be sitting on his Switch. I'm like, bro, put that shit
Insane.
down, turn it off.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy. It's a new breed. But
To
No
fucking
shit.
to backtrack on the whole like work shit.
Yeah.
Well, for me, it's like, dude, I just thought about it, I was like, bro, like, I'm just not trying to do this for the rest of my life. And if I thought about it, I was like, dude, like, what if I break both my legs? You know, how am I gonna fucking weld with 2 broken legs? You know, how am I gonna get to work with 2 broken legs?
robotic legs, bro. Like,
This guy. But the fucking my point is like, you know, like, if as opposed to if I have my own business, if I own property,
That's what I'm saying,
gonna
dog.
have like renters coming in, like I'm gonna have monthly rent
Passive
coming in
income.
straight to the pocket.
yeah.
My business, I mean, you know, I'll be taking, like, I can have somebody covered because I'm obviously have employees, but like if I have like fucking, I'll still be taking money, but let's say, oh yeah, I take a loss here and there.
Mm-hmm.
So what? I'm
So
still
what?
making profit on that, and
Yeah.
I have money from rent.
And you're doing what you care about.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's like I'm not trying to fucking like work for fucking Micron for my entire life, being nobody.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah,
Just
it's
another number in
fucking
the system.
It's
Noble
amazing.
Dragon pipe fitter. Like, no offense. Like,
Yeah.
I love the dudes I work with, but goddamn, dude.
Me too. Me
Some
too.
of those fucking guys are like the laziest motherfuckers I've ever met in my life.
It's true.
But then again, they're like 65 years old, so maybe that's why.
Their whole life is
Oh, yeah.
they were
65,
raised in
I'd be
a
a lazy
different
fuck.
time.
Those are the guys who are like, get the fuck out of here. What are you doing?
Yeah.
You don't want to end up like me. And we're like, yes.
Because they know
Yes,
that we
we
have
know.
the opportunity that they didn't have. It's nuts.
Yeah.
When we were saying
Very
like the
true.
whole passive income thing, it reminded me of like that like meme where it's like you have 2 options. It's like A, receive $5 every birthday, or like B, get $1 million right now. It's like A is the only right answer. Passive income, and it's like
20
it's so
cents.
fucking
It's like
stupid.
paying 25 cents for every day of the year, or get $10 million right now.
Yeah.
It's like, if you said B, you're wrong.
Yeah, and it's like passive income, and it's so fucking stupid. But it's true though. Like not actually that scenario, but like passive income is like the wave, like property, all that shit. Like if
What I-
win the lottery, I'm buying like apartment complex, and
I'm just banking
For
on
real.
the fucking like housing
You have to
crash.
invest.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
I'm just banking on the economy crashing,
Yeah.
and I'm just gonna fucking start buying houses left and right.
And there's even that's a whole like rabbit hole that we can probably go into for like
Well,
hours. Yeah.
before we jump into the
Yeah,
rabbit hole,
yeah.
I want to say one thing. I think it's really amazing how you can be working and hate it, and no matter how much money you make, you are just gonna hate it.
Yeah.
Whereas you can be working and love it, and no matter how much money you make, you're gonna love it.
Yeah.
Like those two things are not related, and it's like it just comes down to what's more important to you.
Show.
So you got to
seen
choose something you
that,
care about.
You ever seen
Or
that,
I do, at
that
least.
fucking TikTok guy? It's like, you know, like be a man. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, the old guy.
I seen this one today, and he's like, hate what you do for a living and die on the job. Be a man.
Yeah.
It's like hate your work or hate
Nasty.
your life or something like that, and die on the job. Be a man.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of another. Yeah, there's so many of those like videos. I can't even think of an
Yeah.
example.
Hey.
I know exactly.
One
what
of my
you're talking
favorites.
Some people get off to that, and to you, hey, fucking do it. It ain't for me, dog.
Yeah, one of my favorites is fucking the one where he's like hungry. He's like starve. Don't go to the store. Be a
about.
man.
Yeah. That kind of shit. Yeah.
That's
It's like
fucking dumb.
you got shot by a bullet. Don't call 911. Be a man. Like,
Yeah,
it's
go
so-
home, be a man.
Yeah, for real.
That's too fucking good.
Did you want to jump into the Reddit?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But did you want to go first?
Well, the only thing is that my phone's recording. I didn't think this through.
Dude, you probably should have sent them to me.
Yeah, I should have.
Shit, I didn't even think about that.
We could take an intermission. I could send it to you real quick. Or if you want to go onto Reddit
Mm-hmm.
and search under r/drugs, what is it like to overdose? That's the main one I had. Because I've been looking at Reddit all week trying to find shit for this, and I couldn't find anything except for this, and this one was pretty gnarly. And it's r/drugs.
My Reddit's just like fucking men's health and wellness, bro. That's my
Mine
entire
is
Reddit.
mine is relationship problems, because I think it's really interesting to read about people's fucked up relationships, which I have some I can talk about for that too. I also have like r/WRX because I'm a Subi boy. You already know. Fucking interesting art, r/drugs.
How do overdoses feel like?
Yeah, I think that's what it was.
Alright, cool. Posted 6 days ago.
Yeah, that's got to be the one I saw.
Oh, is it like this one?
Yeah, there's a couple. Could I
that's
steal it from you?
Yeah, go crazy.
There's a couple different comments that were pretty Oh yeah,
I was
dude.
gonna say this
one
seems
is
like the most
crazy.
fun, yeah.
Okay, so this dude overdoses on meth, right? He says that he was unsure if he was gonna have a heart attack or seizure. Like he couldn't decide which one was going on. He basically says that he has this special type of seizure for 2 hours. This is off of meth,
Fucking
right?
hell.
So 2 hours, and that's like most seizures are like 5 to 10 minutes. So this is like out of
If that.
control. Yeah, if that. But he said it was weird because it was only half of his body. So half his body was seizing, the other side was normal, and he couldn't control it. This is off of meth. I just have to reiterate that because that's first off, he's doing
Well,
meth.
Fucking meth is made out of like fucking bleach and like
Yeah,
Drano.
it's
Yeah.
gnarly.
Shit does not belong in your body.
Eventually, some paramedics came, and the first ones, I guess, this is fucked up, dude. They said that he was overdosing on heroin instead of meth, even though like he's telling them that he took meth, and they're like, no, you're lying. This wouldn't happen to you if you took meth. They were just like total assholes. So his friend says, all right, you two get the fuck out. Calls 911 again. Has different paramedics show up, who these guys eventually are like cool. Listen to him, carry him down 8 flights of stairs. He goes to the hospital, and I guess it says that he had a seizure and he possibly had a heart attack at the same time, and he's alive, which is insane.
Wow.
That's the meth, bro.
Because it could be. Dude,
Sure.
Imagine the
But-
pain in that shit. But
You
would you
probably
even
didn't
feel
feel
that?
it.
Nope,
dude. He's
nope.
fucking-
You feel insane pain. Your
he's
heart
like, oh.
literally feels like it's gonna explode.
Even when you're on meth?
Yeah, dude.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know the effects of meth. So I
He's
don't
like,
know.
come on,
Like,
jacked
dumb
up on
shit.
crystal meth.
Meth.
I don't know how like it
Meth
makes
doesn't
you feel,
really-
like, numb or.
I don't think so. That's
Okay.
more of a heroin thing.
Gotcha.
But I've also there's another comment somewhere in here, another thread that talks about overdosing on heroin, and they said some people feel nothing, they just wake up and they're in the hospital. Other people I've heard from like drinking lean and things like that, where like it's not as potent, so it doesn't happen as fast. Like it's not like heroin where you put it in your arm and you're like immediately like pretty much dead, or fentanyl.
Yeah.
With lean, it's more like a gradual thing, and so they literally feel their heart start to seize up, and they like then they start to not be able to breathe, and they start to like feel like they're gonna pass out. And I've heard stories of dudes just like pounding their chest, like basically giving themselves CPR, trying to keep their heart beating. That shit's just so gnarly, bro.
Imagine like
The drugs are
It's
insane.
not worth
Imagine
it.
you're
I
like,
don't
you're
see
like
it.
ODing
It's
on,
not.
you're ODing on lean, your heart's slowing down, you just fucking stick a fork in like an outlet or something, or in the toaster.
You don't have to. You just close your eyes and let it happen, and you're gone.
No, just fucking stick a fork in. No.
To jumpstart.
Like to jumpstart yourself.
Oh, like a little
Yeah.
defib.
Yeah, like a makeshift fucking crack
Yeah.
house defib, bro.
No
Fucking
shit.
in a fucking toaster.
Yeah, that was the main post I found that I just was like reading through, and I was just captivated by like how just like I just can't imagine being in that situation, and I feel so bad for those people too.
I've witnessed somebody OD
Yeah.
on heroin.
Have you talked about this on the pod?
I think so.
I think
Wow.
I know
No.
you've told me.
Yeah, I don't think we had the pod going when this happened. Actually, no, because I was still at the math.
Well, no, but
I
you
feel
told
like-
me
I feel
about
like
it
in the
after.
early episode, there might have been like a sliver. Of
I think so.
story,
Yeah, yeah. Well, like long story short, I was working at the Mav. A customer comes in saying this guy's overdosing. I go out. This guy's like seasoned. He's like fainting in and out. He's like, oh, I
The
overdosed.
nods.
He's like, oh, I overdosed on heroin. And he's just like going in and out. And then I tell him to take out his car keys because his car's still on and it's like all parked sideways and shit. And then I call 911. And then they're like, oh, where's the meth? And I'm like, no, they're like, where's the heroin? I'm like, dude, I'm not going to fucking look through his car. I'm not going to ask this guy where's his heroin at. Like, where's heroin?
It's all in your back pocket. You're like, I don't fucking know.
Yeah, no, for real though. They were like, where is it? And they're like, is it in his glove department? I'm like, bro, I'm not going to fucking check his car. Like, this guy's about to die.
You're like,
And I
this
was
is
like, is
not
somebody on
enough.
their way? And they're like, yeah. I was like, all right, sick. So I hung up. I was like, dude, like, they can ask him that shit. They can deal with that shit. Like, I'm not investigating.
It's
this
fucked up
motherfucker.
that that's the main thing they're concerned
Yeah,
about.
so I hung up on them on those assholes, and then I was like, all right, as long as they're on the way, that's cool. And then give him water, all that stuff. But yeah, he was like freaking out.
Stay with me, buddy.
And he was like, are they? He's like, are the cops coming? Are the cops coming? I was like, nah, they're not coming. They're not coming. He's like, oh, okay, good. And then he kept on poking, boom. boom,
See,
just
that's what
painting.
happens.
I was like, bro.
That's what happens on heroin is you get the nods.
Yeah.
You're like,
Windows startup sounds.
Yeah, for real.
Oh.
They don't know how, dude.
Every single time, it's all.
But it was scary at one point. Well, it was all scary, but like one point I was like, oh shit, like I was kind of like stunned because like I was like, oh dude, like I was like, just focus on me, and then he was like looking at his car, and then he just directly like stared straight into my eyes, and I was like, ah, yeah, I was like, keep on doing that, and I was like, oh fuck, and it was kind of scaring me at one point. I was like, oh shit, I was like, well, I mean, he's listening. I
Like,
guess.
okay, stop.
Yeah, I was like,
you're
alright,
good.
hold on. Nah, but I think he got all the help he
Yeah.
needed and all that stuff. But yeah, paramedics showed up, and he was sitting at by the time they showed up, he was like sitting on the sidewalk. We were like giving him water, and he was
It's
like
coming
filling it
back
up
to
a little bit.
reality.
Yeah, it was pretty nuts, but
That is
yeah,
gnarly.
I did find. I'll just do. This one's pretty cool. So it's like a relationship, like kind of like a creepy story, but not really. So we'll just run it.
Okay.
It's by
Number 15.
yeah, number 15.
The
It's
guy
by
from Red.
Margot Tenenbaum. All right.
Shout
So-
out user Margot Tenenbaum.
Yeah. So my husband's affair started shortly after we got married. We lived in an apartment complex, and all the mailboxes were in the lobby area. I checked the mail while he was at work, like I always did. I opened the card, not paying attention to who it was addressed to. But the front of the card read, "I miss you in the morning. I miss you in the evening." And
Oh,
and inside the card read, "But I especially miss you at night." And there was a drawing of a woman. There was a drawing of a woman in bed wearing like a lingerie, pretty much.
Drawing or a picture?
Huh?
A drawing or a picture?
A drawing, yeah.
Wow.
And it was signed, "I miss you and love you," with the woman's name. So I looked at the envelope, and it was addressed to her husband, and they'd only been married for 3 months, so that's like,
Ooh.
that'd be fucking L, yeah.
Well, then you're. Oh well. Actually, I don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know if that makes it better or
Careful
worse.
what you say here, dude.
Yeah, yeah.
Careful what you say here, dude.
That's
I'm
like,
about to get canceled. Nah, dude. I feel like since it was so recent, you're like, okay, like,
so early on, you'd rather do that
like,
early
is
than
this
then.
girl from his past, or is this something that's going on now, or like, you know,
Yeah.
that's the question I would have.
And how long were they together before they got married? It's
Yeah,
the question,
yeah.
you know,
That's
you
the
take
other
all those
question.
factors.
That's right.
So
that's
I
right.
immediately gathered all of his items and threw them into the hallway. He came home and tried to come into the
Oh,
door, but I had
she's
a,
pissed.
yeah, she had a chain lock on it, and he was like, "What the hell's going on?" I said, "Your girlfriend, blank, whatever her name is, misses you. So we're over, and you can go stay with her." And I opened the door wide enough to throw the card and the envelope in the hall while he was standing there. About 15 minutes later, there was a knock at the door. It's her next door neighbor. I'd seen him around, and we hadn't made a formal introduction yet. I opened the door, and my husband is standing down the hallway. The neighbor says, "Hi, my name is blank. You accidentally got my mail today." And then my neighbor had the exact first and last name as my husband. He said, "My wife has been sent out of town. My wife has been out of town on a business trip. She sent the card to me." I said, "Bullshit," and shut the door on it.
Yeah, that's a lot.
5 minutes later, there's another knock. I look to see my next door neighbor again, but this time he's holding up his driver's license and the card envelope. His license showed he has the exact same name, and the card envelope has their apartment number on it. So
I feel like that's not that crazy. Like,
yeah,
to have
What?
the exact-
that is fucking nuts.
That's fucking insane.
Yeah.
There's like 7 Jose Hernandezes who work at Micron. I asked
But
the
it's like
fashion guy.
live right
But
next
you
door.
live right
Nah,
next to
I
them,
guess that is fair.
and you just got married, and you get this fucking
you get the-
sexy
That is
mail,
fair.
and
In
you're
your
like,
mail, yeah.
The story, but like just the concept of having the
Yeah,
same name.
yeah.
Okay.
that's not that crazy.
Living next to him is kind of weird.
And being in that situation where you both have the same first and last name, same spelling and everything, that's
Yeah.
pretty crazy, dude.
And
I
then
don't know
it-
what his name was.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, it doesn't say, yeah. And then at the end it just says, "At the time it was pretty fucking traumatic, but now..."
Bob Williams.
Yeah,
The
now,
most simple name ever,
But-
some shit like that, right?
31 years later, my husband thinks it's absolutely hilarious. That's fucking nuts.
It is hilarious.
Like, and they stood together after, like, 31 years later, but yeah, that's
Damn,
fucking,
that's gnarly.
yeah, pretty
That's not
nuts
where I was
shit.
expecting that to go.
Yeah.
Not at all.
I have another one if you guys want to listen to that
I'm
one.
down. This is entertaining.
Like that? Alright. This is kind of like a creepy one. It's not really a relationship one, but it's pretty
Ooh.
interesting. Yeah. To say Ethan was the smartest 12-year-old I've ever met would be an understatement. According to his school records, his first stroke of genius hit around the time he was in 2nd grade when he multiplied 3-digit numbers in his head, while the other kids were just learning to use their fingers. He had always been fascinated by mathematics, particularly probability, which wasn't even covered in his syllabus yet. His teacher immediately requested Ethan's parents to consider him skipping a few grades, maybe even take a few tests to see if he was a genius. The Jones were against the idea.
Fucking mini Albert Einstein over here.
Yeah, for real. The Jones were against that idea completely. They just thought it would be too much work in their hectic life already. However, the absolute lack of attention or love from Ethan's parents isn't the reason why he's in my office every day at 4 p.m. sharply. Frankly, I don't even think that bothers him. He's not at all too popular in school either, considering no kids want to be friends with a know-it-all that could predict the outcome of Monopoly with the help of some probability. That's not what we're addressing here either. Ethan has been sent to me because he was the only one present at a crime scene when his 19-year-old babysitter, Kristen, was brutally murdered by the serial killer who had escaped from jail a couple weeks ago and was on a killing spree.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it takes a bit of a turn.
Oh,
he wasn't exactly witness because while Kristen's head was being battered by a hammer, Ethan was too busy counting the tiles on the bathroom floor. It was unfortunate, really, but fate would have it that Kristen met the pattern. The pattern of the rogue killer's previous victims. The Jones returned home to a bloody corpse in the middle of their living room, and their young boy seated on the chair in the dining hall playing on his iPad. The iPad kids, dude.
No shit. They're like, are you good?
Yeah.
Just
No?
fucking playing piano tiles, you know what I'm saying?
Oh.
It was Miss Jones that believed her son required a psychiatrist, given God knows what he might have witnessed that evening. She wanted to ensure if he was still normal. My sessions with Ethan haven't really been at all that fruitful. I tried to keep the conversation going many times, but all I'd get in return were a few shrugs and maybe a half-hearted yeah now and then. Today, however, I decided to dive right in and talk about that gruesome evening. It was a dark time for the entire town, you know, I spoke. The police didn't see it coming. Nobody did. What were the chances? And then the kid said, I did. And a sentence. That was a breakthrough for me, is what she said. What's that? I had seen the man come to our house and stare every evening for a week, Ethan spoke. Who? I pressed. The bad man who killed Kristen. I could see him from the bedroom window. I knew the police were looking. I saw the news, and I knew he was going to do something bad. I also knew he would have done it on a Tuesday or a Wednesday because that's when mom and dad don't come home for a long time. Ethan continued. The chances were 2 of 7.
Holy fuck.
I felt a chill go down my spine.
Is this real?
I don't know.
It doesn't seem real.
It probably isn't, yeah. Maybe. It was peculiar.
It's really good either way.
Yeah. I felt a chill go down my spine. It was peculiar to see a child talk about such an event without even a hint of remorse. Why, I began. Why didn't you say anything? Who could have saved your life? You could have saved your life. Kristen never liked when I spoke about math. She called it weird, Ethan replied. Besides, I wanted to see if I was right. And that's all it was.
See, I say it's...
Yeah.
I said
That's all it
something.
is.
I said something stupid there. I said it's really good either way, and by that I meant the way it's written is like it feels so real, even if it's not real.
Yeah.
Like even if it's fake, damn,
Mhm.
that's crazy.
And
And
now
if it
it's
is
real.
crazy or if it is real, like what the fuck?
Yeah, and he was right, obviously. So.
Well, I feel like people who are that smart, they're like I feel like their emotion, I feel like
They just think about things too logically.
I feel like to some extent they're incapable of showing regular human emotions because they're so
Yeah.
like smart and I feel like they don't think in like emotions or like regular.
Because
like,
emotions are
rational
not
logic.
logical.
Yeah.
They think in like fucking like concepts.
Yeah.
And, like that's something like people who are that smart do not feel remorse or.
It's like robots. Like
Yeah.
if you give them a command, they'll do anything.
He's
make
like,
sure the command
damn.
is done.
That bitch is dead.
Yeah. You want to
He's
see if
like,
he's
Alright,
right?
back to piano
He's 2 out of
time.
Yeah,
7,
for
bro.
real.
He's like, I knew that she was 2 out of 7.
Yeah, yeah.
For real,
It's
you're like,
crazy.
he's like, I tried to tell you.
Yeah, for real. But, reading that like story reminded me of like the kid, his like characteristics reminded me of fucking L from not L, but Light from fucking Death Note. Like yeah, pretty much how he's like cold and calculated and like doesn't really have time for emotions because he just bases everything he knows on like science and like statistics and shit. Yeah.
Well, if you're that smart too, and then everybody's like, "Oh, you're weird because you're smart," and, you know, like you're not
Yeah,
gonna
that's
tell
even
anybody
worse.
because everybody thinks you're weird.
Yeah.
So what's
Yeah.
the point? Just keep it to myself and know that I'm right.
Mm-hmm.
True.
Fair enough.
Yeah, those are the only two that I have, but.
It's a cool segment.
Yeah.
What time are we at? I can't see.
We are at 50.
No
50
way.
minutes. Yeah.
Damn, dude. We only talked about like 2 things this whole episode.
Yeah, like work.
Like 3 or 4.
And then,
Well, work,
I gotta take a piss.
goals, and then Reddit.
yeah.
You can take your piss.
Fucking, I don't know. I'm trying to think of some shit. I'm gonna take a piss and then I'll think of some shit while I'm doing it.
Alright,
Come back with
I'm
something.
expecting results, alright?
I'll fucking try my best to close this.
No, I like this like Reddit shit though. I think it's pretty
I like it too. I think it just gives us something to talk about, and it's also interesting. I think, dude, Reddit is definitely the best social media.
Yeah, I wouldn't
I think
disagree
so.
with that. Yeah, it's a little toxic at times, but
Oh, yeah, it can be.
not as toxic as fucking like Twitter or whatever the fuck.
Oh my god, I don't know. Yeah, Twitter.
I think TikTok is one of the most toxic places to like. So I mean, you don't have it, so you wouldn't like, which I'm like, I'm kind of jealous of because I used to be like that. But like fucking like their comments on some
Who's
of, like,
Crystal? Huh? She converted you?
Yeah, well, it's also Aiden and Kai because like, bro, they would
always send you shit.
Yeah,
dude, that's how.
Yeah.
It was a girl that had me on it too, and then Aiden and Kai were sending me shit, and then I was on it for a little bit, and then her and I broke up, and I just stopped using it, and so I deleted it, and then I haven't had it since.
Yeah, bro. Cause like, yeah, I'd always get like they'd send me them to like the link shit, and I'd have to open the link and it'd load like the web page.
Yeah, and you're like, dude, this is annoying. I'm just gonna download it.
Yeah, literally. But their
And
comments
you're
on
sucked
some,
in.
yeah, for real. Some of their comments are so fucked on like certain posts. Like, it'll be like just some like kid like dancing or whatever, like some nerd kid like dancing to like some meme song or some shit, right? And it's supposed to be obviously like a joke, but people will be like flaming him in the comments. They're like, bro looks like he doesn't go outside. Or,
I do
touch
kind of
grass.
like watching those, honestly, like the cringe talk compilations on YouTube.
Yeah.
Those are pretty sick.
Yeah,
Those
like
are funny.
yeah, they're funny. They're
With
supposed
like
to be like that.
furries.
Yeah.
Fucking.
Yeah, exactly.
Just like weird shit.
Yeah. Like that stuff's supposed to be funny, but then you have people in the comments like actually like flaming them. I'm like, bro, chill out. It's like it's a joke.
Yeah.
Like it's a meme.
Hey
It's
man,
supposed to
there's
be.
nothing wrong with furries there, right?
Hey man, it's 2022, man. The world's a different place.
No, fucking, I heard what you guys were saying about the TikTok shit. I don't know,
Yeah.
dude. I'm gonna stand.
Okay.
Go crazy.
Fucking, I don't know. I like the TikTok around. I'm a talker.
No, I like
Talker.
it. It's just
'cause
very
fucking,
toxic at times.
That's
I think
fair.
there's a
That's
fine
fair.
line.
I'll fucking scroll for a couple hours. I'll admit to that. But I don't
See,
know. For me, at least, it's just like, dude, I get so much like, I don't know if
You
call
do
it-
get knowledge out
I
of
don't know if
it.
you call it motivation, but it's like I just get so much like
Inspiration.
inspiration and like ideas and shit from TikTok, and like I don't know, it's cool to see like normal people doing like cool shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Because it's not like it's
feel
not
that.
like fucking YouTubers with thousands or millions of dollars like live
Mr.
in this
Beast.
big ass house like Eliminate.
Yeah.
They have this fucking huge ass shop
Yeah.
Like all
with
the cars you could dream
with
of.
like
Yeah.
fucking 4 or 5 lifts.
Dude, I
and
can
it's
never watch
crazy,
their
like-
videos because it's always just so clickbaity, and I'm like, well, like,
Yeah, I think they just do it on purpose, but fucking, so that's what I'm saying. They have like RB26s, like fucking 240 Type X
Yeah,
straight
the
from
shit you
Japan,
can like only
like,
dream of, and it's
That's
just,
what I'm saying.
Yeah,
and-
it makes you
and
feel bad.
Watching TikTok, it's like some fucking
Just some
30-year-old
random
dude
guy,
in his
yeah.
garage with a fucking Miata.
Yeah, like some
doing
guys are just like
crazy
dancing
shit.
in front of a mirror, with, like some sick face. I'm like, bro, that's kind of like some
Yeah,
old
like,
guys that
that's
are just like
well, the
enjoying
thing too,
life.
like my fucking like fashion ideas,
Yeah,
fucking
yeah,
tattoos,
yeah.
fucking art, fucking like dude, the whole nine, bro. It's just like that's what I mean. For me, like TikTok is like more like it's kind of like Pinterest, but for like the younger generation. you
That's
know?
fair, yeah,
I feel
yeah.
like I feel like I mean I use Pinterest too, but more for like
Yeah.
fucking recipes for food and shit like that.
I
I
mean,
rarely use
yeah.
it for like actual inspiration. But I feel like TikTok kind of has that captivating thing about it because it's short
And it
the
caters to
short
what you
videos.
like.
and it cares to what you like. Your For You page, you know, it's
Yeah.
based on it's a fucking algorithm, and it's just like I don't know. I think it's a good in moderation, just
Yep.
like fucking anything is.
Yeah.
it's
you know?
exactly.
I think they should.
Exactly.
The only way to like actually get around that moderation shit is like it's almost like Ready Player One, where like the kid won the game or whatever. He got the golden egg, like all the eggs, and he had the servers shut down. I think for like Wednesdays and Thursdays or some shit. So that way like people can't be on it no matter what. And I think that's the only way to like actually moderate it in that kind of sense, because some
That's,
people.
China does things like that.
Yeah. Like I'll see some people like on TikTok for like hours, dude, hours. It's like,
Yeah.
damn, bro.
I think it's fine if you're an adult and you choose to spend your day like that.
Yeah, that's fair.
But when you
yeah.
give it to a little kid, and it's like,
You're injecting them with ADHD.
yeah, I think that's unhealthy, and I think that's a sign of bad parenting because
Fucking iPad kids,
Dude, I know.
Dude, they're gonna have fucking trauma and shit. They're not gonna get attention from their parents. Like their parents are like, because their parents are working or whatever the fuck, and they're like, okay, here's the iPad.
That's their babysitter.
Well,
now.
on top of that,
Yeah.
it's like fucking, you know, like the kid starts crying, what do you do? Give him an iPad. Kid
Yeah.
starts crying, oh, give him your phone.
Yeah.
Like it's just either it's like
So healthy.
They're
You're
rewarding
not-
bad behavior.
you're not intentionally like fucking doing it, but at the same time you kind of are. Because
Yeah.
you just that's what makes them happy. So you give it to them and they start crying, but then it's like now they're fucking.
But the only reason
best
why they're
friends
like
in
that
Roblox.
is
Yep.
you had to have like it comes down to the parents like maybe not teaching them but showing them that that's okay.
I think they're lacking self-awareness.
It's like the
Yeah.
fucking whole Cocomelon thing when people were putting on like PewDiePie videos and it's like the kids fucking get up and turn around all crazy.
Yeah,
Oh,
dude,
yeah.
yeah.
Because it's like
We'll just play the
Cocomelon.
intro. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
weird. Like even with my niece, like I played like the intro and then she ran to my phone. I'm like, bro, I was like, nah, and I pulled my phone. I was like, nah. I was like, go play with your toy, dude. Like you're not looking at the screen. Go play on your toy.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
But then again, I guess I don't know. I'd say with like COVID, you know, it's been going on for what like 2 years now. So it's, I mean,
Yeah.
it's kind of like a different world.
It is, yeah, it is.
Fucking to get a little political, honestly, I think we should just fucking
Take the
get
masks
rid of
off.
masks, bro.
I think so too.
Natural selection and see
Yeah.
who fucking comes out of the shits or
I think so too, and I think that people would be surprised if we
Because
did that.
that's how it happened
Yeah.
back in the day, bro. Like
Yeah.
if you survived, you survived. If you didn't, you didn't.
The other thing is that how many people are wearing their masks over their noses?
Correctly. Yeah, everybody
No.
worked. Everybody worked. Nobody fucking
No.
wears it. Everybody wears it like down here, like on their fucking top lid.
Yeah, nobody
Yeah.
fucking wears it correctly. They're literally not doing anything. At least where we work. You know, I can't speak for everywhere, but at Micron, the masks are completely useless.
It's like that lady who fucking went to the gas station. She like cut the hole in the middle, and he's like, "Why'd you cut the hole?" She's like, "I couldn't breathe."
Yeah, it's like, I think I don't know. It's such a hard like thing. 'Cause, for me, I mean, I normally don't walk around with a mask on. Like I'm gonna admit that, but I'm vaccinated and I'm all that shit. But also, I do get where some people are coming from because they have their grandparents at home who are like sick with other shit that could compromise them to where they could die.
That's
But at the
understandable.
same time, it's like, then should you be going now? Like should the person who lives with them be going out? And like I don't know, like
It's
I
a
get it.
fine line.
Yeah, because like we can't put the world on hold, but we've been on hold for a bit to where we gotta start pushing through. So I get it. It's a hard there's a lot. It's very I don't know what's the word where it's like it's just a case by case thing. I don't know. It's hard. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like if my grandma was still living with me, I would be on the other side probably to where I'd be like, nah, keep the mask on. It doesn't hurt. But at the same time that I'm not like that, I'm kind of sick and tired of wearing a
It's
mask.
like, what's the
everywhere.
point?
Yeah. Like I'm good. I'm
and
not getting sick.
I see exactly what you're saying. It's
It's
kind
hard,
of like
yeah.
a perspective thing where
Yeah.
like for people who are living with people, who could get sick, then they're like, please wear your mask. And then for people who aren't, we're just like, fuck the
Then
masks.
then don't go outside. Like I get it. Like it's a hard thing. I don't know. I don't think there's any way to actually. I don't know.
There's no way to do it right.
Yeah, there's no way. One person's gonna be mad, or the other person's gonna be happy. With it.
I think this is gonna be a thing for pretty much the rest of forever.
Yeah,
I
it's
I don't know.
it's just
bro.
a new flu to me.
Call
I think.
Call me insensitive or call me fucking evil, but I honestly like.
You saying let the boomers die?
Dude, if it's their time to go, it's their time to go,
Yeah,
bro.
really.
Like,
See,
if
that's
I'm,
the
you know,
thing.
like if I get if I get COVID and I'm gonna die, I'm not gonna be like, oh, it's. I mean, I'd have to blame it on anybody, but like, if it's your time, it's your time. You can't hold back death. It's inevitable.
In a
You're
way,
not gonna be like,
humans-
oh yeah, let me fucking wear this mask so I can live forever.
No.
Either way, you're gonna die. If it's an old age or COVID. I mean, yeah, rest in peace, everybody's grandparents who passed away from COVID. But at the same time, it's like
You're gonna miss them whether they die from COVID or not, as fucked up as that sounds.
it's
And I
their
think
time to
that
go.
society is trying to play God a little bit here and like negate the
Yeah.
effects.
Yeah, and I
But
think, I always said
it is understandable,
Hey,
like Carlos
I'll
said.
take the hit, bro. Call me fucking insensitive. Call me evil, bro. I just think that's it's the way life is supposed to be.
It's a totally valid perspective.
People didn't invent I don't know. As a species, evolutionarily, we've gone to the point where it's like we're trying to prolong people to avoid the inevitable.
Past the point of sustainability, even.
Exactly. Like people live to what, like 110, 105. Like
yeah,
people
we've already
like,
increased
Some
our
people
yeah,
do.
like our
like all
lifespans
like the
dramatically.
Something like those fucking clickbait videos of like Indian guys living to like 110.
Yeah,
Because their lifestyle is just
I
super
think the
healthy.
oldest lady right now is like 123 or some shit, 122. too. You know, it's always the Chinese ladies, man. They're on some different Zen shit. But nah, ever like I remember when we were freshman year of college and like that shit started like circulating everywhere. It was on the news. I remember day one, I was like, bro, I guarantee you, give it like a year or two, this thing's gonna be like, it's already like a flu, and it had like the similar, you know, things.
Pretty much is a flu now.
It's gonna be like a new flu, pretty much. So you're gonna go every year, get your booster shots, get your vaccines, whatever. It's just gonna be a daily thing that we're gonna live with. Viruses like this, they can't just disappear out of nowhere.
It's
like,
the same thing that happened with the swine flu in the 60s.
Exactly, yeah. And I was like, it's just gonna be a thing for a bit, like, and you can't put the world on hold for it. I was like, sure, you can try to help, but you know, obviously, yeah, watch out for each other and whatnot. But yeah, it's a thing. It's just gonna happen.
So I got the oldest living people.
I might be wrong, but
It says all of the world's 10 oldest known living people are women, which is kind of crazy to think of.
yeah.
Makes sense.
Number 1 is Kane Tanaka, or Kane, I don't know how you say it. She's from Japan. She's
How old?
119 years old.
Fuck. Okay, I was wrong, but yeah, see.
And then same thing, number 2.
But those aren't the oldest people to have ever lived. Those are the oldest people alive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, hold on. Let's back it up, dude.
Yeah.
Oldest person ever, bro.
Oldest person ever, I think, is 123. That's my guess. What do you think?
She died in 1997. She was at the age of 122.
Oh,
I was so close.
I said that.
You did say
Yeah.
122.
She was born in 1875.
Bro, she
imagine
witnessed
growing up.
shit, dude.
Imagine
She
growing up,
witnessed-
because by the time she
Oh
was
my fuck.
in
The creation of bread, bro.
18,
Straight up, bro. Straight up.
Dude, imagine. Okay, listen to this. Dude, she was born, like, by the time she was like, you know, like really, like realizing how the world worked. It was 1885. She was 10 years old. Can you imagine growing like
Seeing that much.
1997?
That's
bro?
when she died?
Yeah.
Bro.
She literally lived like, oh my god, like, dude. She started with like
she
horse,
lived in black and white.
She,
No, actually.
yeah, like a horse fucking like carriages, and she died with cars and mobile
She
phones.
really fucking did.
Oh
Like,
my
that's
God.
real shit.
How's that even possible?
She
Bro,
saw
she
World
died.
War One, World War Two, Vietnam, the Korean War,
Cold War, dude.
Cold War.
Oh my
She lived through
god.
every Call of
That's
Duty.
insane.
I'm
Turns out she was a
fucking
massive gamer.
Oh,
Yeah.
fucking! I forgot to say her name. Her name is Jean Louise Calment,
She's American?
France.
French.
Damn.
Yeah,
Bro.
that's nuts, dude.
That's nutty.
Damn.
122. Like, imagine living to like.
Oh, she could have dapped up Hitler.
Well, because of the
Yeah, for real.
the like the technology, like I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I feel like from like the 1900s to like I wouldn't say 1900. I'd say it's a 1940 to 1960. Those 20 years, like holy shit, bro, time fucking like technology, like the
Exploded because of
and
the
then even
wars.
if you look at 1960 to 1980,
Bro, from 2010 to 2020. Like,
I feel like it's kind of
bro, even in the 20s, like from 2000 to now, bro, we didn't have touch screens. Like that wasn't a thing.
But think
Yeah.
about it.
Like,
Okay,
touchscreens weren't a thing.
1960 we landed on the moon. 1980 we have like cars with radios and like pagers and shit. The technology gap in those 20 years, like now, like okay, think about 2000. We had phones in 2000. 2020 we still have phones. They're just like way more like advanced. I mean the same concept, just like fucking upgraded.
Whereas, yeah, things like space travel
wait, when
was
was
like
she
a
born?
whole new thing.
1875.
Bro, she witnessed the first movie ever made. 1888 is when the
First movie,
Jesus.
first car,
Yeah.
first porno.
And when people watched the first movie, it was like a train or some shit. And there was like a train somewhere. Everybody was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
and everybody got scared because they thought it was gonna fucking hit them, but it was a movie. Bro, she witnessed fucking that
I
to
fucking
fucking
hate you.
Star Wars, dude.
That's true.
That's crazy.
That is crazy.
Fucking music, like music on the radio, like you know how many? I
Oh
wonder how
my
many genres
God,
of like
dude.
music she lived through. That's
Bro,
nuts.
I wonder
just
what kind
can't-
of drugs she did.
I just can't
I
imagine.
was thinking that.
I
It's
just
like,
can't
what the
imagine living that
fuck
long.
did she do to cause that? Like, she had to be on some shit.
That's crazy.
Just ate chicken and rice every day.
Every day?
122 years.
Probably did some yoga. I wonder if she
Yeah,
smoked.
holy shit.
I just can't.
If she was
imagine
born in
living-
1875, she definitely smoked.
I just can't imagine living that long.
I
feel like I wouldn't
that's-
want to.
Yeah, I feel like
That's like from
fucking kill me.
now. That's
If
like,
I made it-
like me living another 100 years.
I already hate living 20.
Oh,
I'm just kidding, I'm kidding.
dude,
I'm
when,
kidding.
when you say it like that though, living another 100 years, nah,
But bro, like
dog.
imagine living another 20 years. Like
Bro,
what we live
I
now,
would
imagine
literally-
repeating
I would
that.
literally-
That's when we're 40.
I would
Then
die.
imagine living
That's-
back 40
that's doable.
again and being 80.
That would be 60, but yes.
No, living like the 40.
Oh, the
again.
40 again.
Like
Okay,
going
okay.
from 0 to 20 and then repeating this up to this point, we're 40, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
And
I
then-
see doubling
Or
every time.
42. And then imagine being fucking like doubling that. Like bro, we're 80.
Yeah.
Like that's
Bro, I
crazy.
would literally die.
And then you're
in-
160.
I would die in 21, 22. That is the year I would die. 2,122.
Oh,
Bro.
that's fucking weird to think about.
That doesn't make
And
sense.
even then, I'm
But
seeing
That's like some
yeah.
time travel
But
shit.
like seeing
dude.
like games and like movies portray the next 20 years, like Cyberpunk 2047. I mean, what's that movie? Blade Runner 2047. Like, bro, I watched that recently. I'm like, dude, there's no fucking way this is gonna be like how we're gonna be living in 20 years. It's like, but what if it is?
Yeah, who knows?
Like, you know, like.
Well, that's
fuck,
the thing. That's,
dude.
that's like people thought about Back to the Future, and it's like 2021. Like they're supposed to have flying cars and shit.
Or, like,
we
space-
We're barely making fully electric cars.
I mean,
dude.
shit.
Let alone
We
flying
can go to
ones,
World
bro.
War III right now, and then half our world be decimated. So I'm not gonna be
There's
surprised.
the
Honestly.
movie Space Odyssey 2001.
Yeah.
Like they thought in 2001 that we would be like
Don't
way out in
Some Star Wars
space.
bullshit, like
Yeah.
fucking wallpaper. and
Which
that.
maybe we
No,
are.
for real.
Maybe we don't even know because the government's like they don't deserve to know this because they're gonna freak out.
Could be.
That's why I hate like big government.
Yeah.
It's scary.
No
Like,
more
the
big
fucking-
Fucking
The
cat
kid-
she's like, yeah, no more big government, and they're like,
Yeah,
right,
yeah,
they're like
yeah.
fighting each other.
She's
on
like-
TV.
she's
I don't know if you remember
yeah,
that.
I
like-
don't remember that.
She like turns on the TV and they're like each other like Taiwanese Parliament.
Yeah.
I'm missing out about a
You
loop.
tell him, Ron. No more big government.
Yeah.
Who's this? It's our babysitter. You pay this woman to
Mrs.
sit on
Kwan.
babies?
Yeah.
I would enter for free.
Oh my fuck! It's starting to come back to me. When you said Mrs. Kwan,
Bro, I don't care what anybody says. Cat had some goated.
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
the
that's
one of
OG
the
dude.
best
That shit
movies
used
of
to
all
scare
time.
the fuck out of me. He was a creepy
I
motherfucker.
kinda fuck with it, bro.
He's like dirty hoe, but it's like an
It's
actual.
actual-
hoe.
Yeah.
He's like,
Oh,
I
shit.
want to drive, and then he's like, all right, and he gives her like another fucking steering wheel, and they're all like, but it's so good, bro, it's so good.
What did he
That
say?
shit's
He's
crazy.
like the abbreviation for the car is like shit, but like he says it like the abbreviation is differently.
Oh yeah, no, I fucking know what you're talking about. Damn it,
I don't
yeah.
know what the fucking the name of it is.
Now I'm
but
just a
yeah.
bunch of like moving coasters like popping in my head, like
Oh,
Edna,
'cause-
Mold, and like all
Yeah,
that shit.
he was like, it's called the slow, and it was like a different abbreviation. And he's like, well, I had to change it because I was like, why do you call it slow? And he's like, well, I had to change it because it was the super hydraulic
Intensive-
something.
yeah,
Oh,
and
shit.
The abbreviation is shit. Yeah. Fucking hell, man.
Who was in that movie? That like baddie, that blonde baddie, Paris Hilton. She's like dancing
Oh,
in like
yeah,
the
and the
dance
club,
there.
she's
She's
like,
like, he's like,
yeah.
hubba yeah.
His fucking
Yeah,
hat
it's
is all
like,
straight.
yeah, like just like symbolizing.
I'm fucking
It's so
dead.
good.
And then he fucking forgets his hat in the club.
Oh
And then
yeah,
he has it again. Yeah.
It's fucking great.
I remember doesn't he do like a cooking show too? I remember that part.
Yeah. And he chops off his
It's
tail.
like anything,
Oh, that's what it is.
anything.
He's like, say it again. You know, he's like, I'll get you, and I'll make it look like a bloody accident.
Yeah, he's like the kind
Oh
of
yeah.
And then he cuts off his tail. He's like, cat, your tail. And he's like, son of a. And it's like,
It's like a cat Dude, I'm telling you, that movie was goated. That movie had those
Dude, if anybody's
We
listening,
might need
up
to watch
point-
this.
Yeah, bro.
Probably
You just watch Cat in the Hat.
fucking-
Imagine.
Bro, we need to do like a commentary over it.
Dude.
You just gotta like fucking scrub the speed of it and just.
No, I've been
Turn it
seeing-
down.
People do
I've
comments
been
on that
seeing
on movies.
videos
I literally-
of people
I
like doing
literally
like
saw
cut
one.
comms on
Yeah.
movies and shit
I literally
and
saw
shows.
one that was like
There's a guy called Pretty Much It that do. There's like these two guys that do that shit.
I don't know. I saw this one. It's like people and they're like watching Cat in the Hat, what drunk or something like that.
Oh,
And
dude, it's like
20
those.
minutes.
Yeah, dude, I know exactly. It
Yeah.
starts with like
Lit.
C or some shit. I know.
No
I watched
idea,
those guys.
but I watched it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I popped up on my feet and I watched
There's
it.
a guy who listens to albums. I think his name is Sean C. You just know what I'm talking about. He listens to music on YouTube, and
Oh,
then
there's fucking Anthony Fantana at home.
Yeah, I know him and then
he's-
The needle drop.
Cam Holler too. I know him for like a music.
well, anyway, he he watches shows like animes and shit, but he just like chops them up and then like
Dude.
watches them.
We could do that,
That's sick.
honestly. Like, we can even just watch it over, like,
I thought about it.
even we don't even have to be in person. We can just do like our commentaries. And we can just be like in our rooms or whatever. And, like, you can be at home. We can just
Or in like
record
a
each other's-
Discord call.
Yeah, literally. We can
Yeah.
be in a Discord call. Yeah,
That'd be
that's a good idea. I'd be down for that. That'd be
A few dudes watch Cat in the Hat.
cool.
Can't wait to get turn 21, bro.
For real.
Maybe go to a bar. That shit's
Yeah.
so fun. Like,
Yeah.
like you think it's like a bar. Like
That's
can't
really
be that
fun.
cool.
Yeah. No,
Like,
we want to go this summer to Vegas.
Bro,
A
when
few
me
years
and
ago,
we went to this bar in San Fran, like it was like fun as shit. 'Cause,
I
like,
bet.
you just keep buying drinks and like it's like I don't know.
It sounds sick.
The
I can't
atmosphere
wait.
was just
Fire,
cool.
dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that too, and the atmosphere was like a cruise ship, like shipwreck, fucking tiki.
I saw, yeah, that looked
Yeah.
pretty dope. Yeah. Yeah, I think we're pretty much.
Yeah, I think we're wrapping up.
Yeah, we
I'm
are.
fucking tired, dude.
Yeah, we're getting.
I gotta
there.
be up at fucking 4 in the morning.
Yeah, we're at 110. So yeah.
Well,
Those are up, dude.
solid show. I think we talked about a lot of good stuff. We had some good laughs. We had some serious moments. We got to air a lot out.
Yeah.
Had a new little Reddit segment, which was fun, and yeah, we'll bring it back sometime. I enjoyed it. So,
Mhm.
yeah, that's really all, folks.
Yeah, thanks
few
for watching.
dudes.
Quintin, thanks for coming on again. Always a pleasure.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Hit us up on Instagram. Follow us on Spotify. We're on Spotify now. YouTube. You already know.
Yeah.
Hit the damn subscribe button, you pleb. I'm just kidding. I love you. All right.
See you
We'll
next
see you
Friday.
next week.
Yeah.
Peace.
Bye.